Indigenous land. I always say that because it doesn't matter where I am, I'll be standing on it. Or in this case, a couple feet above it. I bring you greetings from relatives to the east, Catuapana, Cherokee, from the Colorado chapter of the American Indian Movement, of which I'm part. And from Gorthy Las, otherwise known as Glittered Peltier, today sits still in a federal cage, not for anything that anyone, even his prosecutor at any point in the last 25 years, has been prepared to say that they know that he did. But as a symbol of the arbitrary ability of the federal government of the United States to repress legitimate aspirations of indigenous people within its claim boundaries. The emphasis there on claim. There's a difference between a claim and a reality. They talk about Indians having land claims. The Oneida land claim. The Black Hills land claim. Various claims by indigenous people to territory, which when you think about it, and people are very consciously channeled away from thinking about it, was Oneida land, Lakota, Cheyenne, Arapaho land, indigenous people's land in the first place. So how is it that the settler society purports to own the entirety of the 48 contiguous states section of North America, Alaska, Hawaii? The queen's name was Liliuokalani. It's brought up by a previous speaker. How is it that they came to own native land, and against their assertion of title, native people can press claims for some pittance of compensation? Is that a question that's ever been posed to you in the course of your education? I'm assuming people here are going to the community college. So you've probably in most cases done preschool. That might be taken a little too early for such things, issues, questions to arise. But elementary school, actually it's a pretty elementary question. Think about it. It's the most basic question confronting people in terms of disposition of property and rights anywhere in what's now called the United States. It's the fundamental question, but it's the one that's never asked at the fundamental level. Presumably you've been through high school or some equivalency, so it's another 4 years. I'm counting preschool, 13 years before you arrived here. Community college sequences usually go 2 years, so by the time you're done, you'll have at least 15 years of so-called education, and they will never ask the fundamental question. You will never have been in touch with it. All the way through, however, some other things have been happening. You'll be getting answers to questions you've never had occasion to ask. Anybody here ever had occasion to take a test, as they call it? Whoa. Nobody here has ever had to take a test to get through 13, 14 years of school? Come on, you know you have. What's on the test? Fill in the blank, multiple choice, true, false. there's correct answers and there's incorrect answers. And who's determining what the correct answers are going to be? The accredited individual at the front of the room has gone through exactly the same process you are. Okay, these are answers to questions, but did you ever come up with a question? No, no point in your entire processing through the school system, the so-called education system, were you ever given an opportunity to pose what the question should be. They're telling you what the questions are before you ask them, which preempts you from engaging critical faculty to figure out how to interrogate your environment so maybe you can understand it and your place in it. No, prepackaged, then you get soundbite answers that you can regurgitate on command at a test. Fill in a blank, 1 word, 2 words. Okay, you've just answered a major question and you've got a soundbite that would make Bill O'Reilly seem like a major orator. All right? Yeah, now that you've gotten all the answers to all the questions you never had a chance to ask, they spit you out with a skill set and tell you what your place is as a cog in the system. That's the function of, well, what is it a function of? Let me pose a question here and see if you can answer it. They got a ways to go. There's not a terrible large number of people here, numerically. That says nothing as to the value of the people that are here. But since we have manageable numbers, how about I climb down off this authoritarian speaker's podium so that I'm telling you what you should think. And we arrange some of these chairs so that we, in a sort of more communicative mode, something like a circle rather than square and straight lines, so that we can talk to one another. Maybe I can talk to you rather than at you. Maybe come a certain point you can talk back a little bit without going through this schoolhouse drill of raising your hand. Hey, teacher, can I what? Of course you can. That's what you're here for. Oh, you're disorderly. You ask out of turn. So, what's your response? What do you say to that question?
I like the idea.
You like the idea? Anybody mortally opposed to the idea of have a physical or mental infirmity of some sort and other ableness that would lead to catastrophe if we didn't have this all arranged in Euro order? We try to interact a little bit more like people rather than a set of power relations. What a concept.